Welcome into a new video. Today I want to talk to you about the three biggest lessons I've learned after meditating every single day for the past year. Meditation itself completely changed my life, so I want to share that gift with you guys. So the number one lesson I learned the hard way is that you are not your thoughts. And it took a long time for me to understand that because we all have those very strong persistent thoughts in our head. We can also call them beliefs, and I used to associate myself with them. So I used to have thoughts that I'm not feeling good enough, that who am I to succeed, and I was constantly attaching my self-worth to those thoughts. But then I was reading a book and it really made me reflect. He started the chapter by saying, "Who are you?" Because actually, we never really sit down and think about who are we. It's a really deep question, and it's way easier to start with who we are not. Because, for example, I'm not my body 10 years ago. I'm not my height 10 years ago. I'm not my professional career because this also can change. So I change. So who am I really? And I really like the reflection about the moment you can start observing something, it means that there's two things in action. There's the observer and the observant. And the moment you can do that, it means that you are not that. So I can look at the camera right now. It means I'm disassociating myself from the camera. So I'm not the camera. There's a tree behind you. I'm looking at the tree. If I'm being able to look at the tree, it means I'm not the tree. So it's a simple logical equation. But then think about it also for your thoughts. You can observe your thoughts, you can see it kick in, you can make it shut down. So if you have control over that, it means that we are not that. I hope I got my point there. So if we are not our thoughts, who are we? We are what I call the soul. And the thoughts is based from the ego. And the ego is just a sense of self. It's an identity that we create that when the soul came, it needed to grasp into the 3D world. So it created the word I. And the ego is just a set of programs that we have learned or endured during our whole life since we're young till the adult life. And it's something that is constantly changing and constantly programmed in a different way. So meditation really helped me first of all calm myself down. And I'm not talking about those meditation maybe on YouTube that are like 10, 15 minutes. I'm talking about like the 1 hour thing where you really go deep and we go from different brain waves from alpha, beta to theta brain waves. It's all the meditation from Dr. Joe, but I've been doing also different kinds of meditation. And in those meditation, it's like you calm your brain waves from going from beta. So in beta, you have three range. High beta is survival state. Medium beta, it's normal state. Low beta, it's a bit more relaxed, but it's still active. And then alpha is more where the inner world becomes more real than the outer world. A pure example is you driving. You sometimes drive, you're not really conscious of who's driving, and out of nowhere you arrive to the destination, but you were just always in your thoughts. So basically, in those type of meditation, I go from beta, high beta to theta. And the moment you go to theta, you break the analytical mind, you break that voice in your head, and you can start, it's amazing. You can start observing your thoughts, and this practice 1 hour every single day helps me also during the whole day to observe the thoughts. I feel the thought like I'm not good enough. And I'm like, I don't believe that anymore. And it goes. And it's just a training. And sometimes even in the meditation, after even meditating for a year, sometimes it's so frustrating. Like I sit down, but then it's like a constant activation of thoughts. And the whole purpose is like shutting down a dog. It's like sit, you train him. Sit, he wakes, sit, and it's exactly the same with your thoughts. Like shut up, and slowly you can start doing that. It's like a muscle that you build, and you can later on use that also in your awakened time. It's not just in the meditation. Number two is that you become much more calmer and less reactive, and that was amazing for me, especially as a business owner. There's so much reactivity, so many good news, bad news, things that are happening, nothing goes as planned. If you have a business, you might know that. And I realized that it really helps me be way less reactive, because it's like there's like a big moment between what's happening, and I ask myself like, how do I want to react? And I have this glimpse of a second where I ask myself, how do I want to react? And I always go and embody the version of myself that is a millionaire, that is living the life, that is impacting millions of people. And I always ask myself, how would that person think? How would that person feel in that moment? So for example, you finish a sales call, you're so locked in, he says yes, he tells you, send me the link, I'll pay. You send him the link, something and he just disappears. He don't answer. I would get very frustrated. I would feel I'm not good enough. It's never gonna work. I would go into this scarcity mindset. But now it's always I pause it. I don't take this personal. I know this is those negative thoughts. It's just a programming, and it needs something in the external world for it to show up. I pause it and I say to myself, "It's okay." My future self would say like thousands of other people that I can impact, and I feel frustrated not because he didn't join my program. It's because I feel frustrated because I really feel like I could have helped this person, but he just got very scared of this opportunity because change itself is very scary. And if you don't know, what I do is I actually am a peak performance coach. I help entrepreneurs or very ambitious people scale their business or tap into their true potential by working on the programming, rewiring that, and helping them build a life where they're genuinely excited to wake up for it every single day. And number three, meditating is not a practice, it's a state. Because I used to do those 1 hours, I would feel high emotions, I would feel abundant, and then I would wake up and the whole 3D world was showing me the contrary. It was contradicting what I was feeling, and I realized, okay, I'm feeling good in this hour, but then the whole day I'm also frustrated, I'm also angry, I'm also in fear, and I realized this doesn't work like that. I needed to shift my mindset and say, meditation in the morning is just to peak me and put me in that state, but I need to hold that state during the whole day to be able to be in that state with the eyes open. And this is where the magic really happens, because you can do all those 1 hour meditation, but if you wake up, you open your eyes, something happens, you react as your old self, the meditation itself is not really working, because it's really a state. And that's something I took a bit of time to understand, but the moment I started understanding that, it really shifted me. So sometimes I also practice walking meditations. So basically it's with my eyes open, I'm walking and I'm in the meditative state. It also helped me see that I can meditate with the eyes open. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you giving me the time to talk to you about a topic that is really close to my heart. It's something that I'm bringing more and more also to my clients, because in my program we work much more in the mindset and the peak performance. And I also realized that being able to be in that state is a huge competitive advantage. It's something that will shift your life, and this is where I feel like you can have tremendous amount of peace even in a very chaotic life, especially as entrepreneurs. It's chaotic and you know that. So if you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate just subscribe so this video can be sent to more and more people that need to hear that. And I'll see you all in the next one.